Happy Saturday. I look crazy. I have makeup on one side, and not the other. I just wanted to hop on here on Saturday and just show you how I make my makeup last a little bit longer and how I make it not shiny. I did not touch up my makeup at all today. I woke up this morning, I took my dog to daycare, did some errands, went to lunch with some friends, came back, cleaned the house, and now it's 6:15, and this is my makeup for the day. I took off this side so I could demonstrate how I look crazy. No. How I do my makeup and how I make it last a little bit longer, especially if for those long days. I work a 9 to 5, but I leave at 6:30 in the morning. I get home at 5:30. When I come home, of course, no matter what, if you're oily, you're going to be oily throughout the day. There's nothing that you could do about it, but there's some steps that you can take to prevent it from happening as extreme as it should. So let's just get started. I'm oily, so at nighttime I use a glycolic acid toner to help control my oil glands. I feel like it has been working a lot, but of course skincare is a whole nother issue. But very quickly, so when I wake up in the morning, I do my skincare routine and then primers. I used to use a primer. I don't use one now. I feel like my skincare acts as a primer, but if you're into primers and you feel like they work, obviously do your thing. Not that I think they're a gimmick, I just think that if you're using the correct skincare, that acts as a primer itself, and it's just saving a little bit money that I rather put in skincare. Just my personal preference. So anyways, the first step that I do is do my skincare in the morning, then I just go straight into my foundation. Just for this video, I just grabbed any foundation. This is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. It's full coverage. If that's not your thing, use your BB cream, whatever you want. So I just put my foundation on regularly. Like I said, this is the Makeup Forever HD. I'm in the shade 125. Don't know if that helps you out. It's just a light tan shade. And I just put a little thing here, here, and here. I get very red here. I don't know if that's hormonal or I don't know what that is. And then I just use like a fat brush. And I just quickly blend it in like this. And always bring it down your neck, please. Done. Then I do a little bit of concealer. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I think it's $28. It's a little expensive, but I like it and it works. So I just do a little here, bring it down to brighten up this area. And then you could use a beauty blender. If you have one of these and you're like, what the hell, it's fucking sucks. Make sure you're using it wet. My aunts bought one and they're like, it's horrible. And they're using it dry, so it's just soaking up your product if it's dry. Just wet it under the sink and squeeze it to get the excess water out. And I did that before. But it just seamlessly blends everything in, so you don't really have any harsh lines. I'm a little bit more aggressive than they probably recommend, but for the sake of this video, I'm just quickly moving along here. Okay, done. Before that sets, grab a powder, any powder. I use a translucent powder that doesn't add any color. This is good. I have fine lines under my eyes. I always have. They're not the best. But if you use a powder before this sets in, so I just keep blotting it before it sets in. And this is a powder that I'm using. It's just a clear powder. It doesn't really have any color to it. And I use the same beauty blender. And I dipped it in and I just put some under my eye and I do a little bit on my forehead because, as I told you, I'm oily. So that's gonna set the concealer in so it doesn't move throughout the day and settle into fine lines. I let it sit on there for a minute because it's gonna absorb any excess product. So literally maybe 10 seconds while I do that. It's Saturday, so I'm gonna have some wine. Okay, so now I'm just gonna quickly take the other end of my beauty blender and wipe off the excess powder. Now, with the same powder, you should, if you're oily, set your whole face. If you're not oily, I do recommend you setting the areas that are going to move when you talk. You have natural expressions, so your forehead. And my nose gets really oily, so I just have a big powder brush and I'm just setting the areas. I set my entire face because I just find that when I put powder over liquid foundation, if I put any other product on top of that, such as blush or bronzer, it goes on a lot nicer and doesn't like pull at my skin so much. So this is just some blush. I'm a fan of blush, as you could tell. And then bronzer, this is the Hoola bronzer. I'm using the same brush that I use for powder and everything. That's probably looked down upon. I just go around my forehead, a little on my cheeks. Oh, Jesus, that was a lot. And then around here. And because, like I said, I'm always heavy-handed, I am going to take my foundation brush and just go over the areas where I did a little bit too much, so it just blends everything in. And that's it. That's all you need. So remember, to make your makeup last longer, use a powder over it. Even if you're dry, put a powder over it. Last but not least, use a finishing spray. I love MAC Fix Plus, it's called. It's just a spray that has some kind of something in it, some magic, I don't know. But we just spray your face. I am a little heavy-handed with that also. And let it dry. And it makes all of the powders in your face quickly absorb. So it looks like it melted into your skin and it's not just sitting on top of your skin, and it is gonna help the powders and your makeup last a little bit longer and give you more of a natural glow, so your foundation's not just sitting on your skin like I said. So that is all I have. Thank you. Okay, bye.